You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rogance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about something I heard a couple of days ago when I was in the gym getting ready to lift. I generally speaking will listen to one or two of Bill Simmons' podcasts a week, usually the one he does with Cousin Sal, where they talk about Sunday's games and then they do guess the lines for the following NFL week. But depending on what he's got, I'll usually maybe listen to the next one that comes out afterwards. I really look at his subjects, and in this case, I saw this subject and was like, oh, I kind of saw something about this the other day from a different source, but then Bill Simmons decided he wanted to talk about it because Bill Simmons is from Boston, and as you can expect, him and his family are massive New England Patriot fans. Tom Brady means a lot to Bill Simmons, and you guys know I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. I got him that canvas behind me where he's projecting the GOAT shadow, wearing the Bucs jersey, holding the Patriots jersey, and wearing all of his rings. Well, this is starting to get a little bit more fire because, and me and John's talked about this, the fact that we think Tom Brady may play at least next year. And we actually think there's a chance he might even play the year after. Now, we were starting to get some rumblings out there of Tom Brady going to the 49ers. I don't know about that. Maybe now that Garoppolo's hurt after the season, because the feeling was prior to Garoppolo breaking his foot yesterday that Garoppolo would probably play the rest of the season, get into the playoffs, and then could very well sign a 1 or 2 or 3 year deal, probably more like a 2 or 3 year deal with the Niners to stay. But all of that is up in the air now that Garoppolo's been hurt. So Simmons stepped up, and he's talking about the fact that now we are starting to hear rumblings of Tom Brady going back to the Patriots. And he did point out some different things. This is the Mirror, but a lot of it is based on Bill Simmons' podcast, what he was talking about the other day. The Athletic, Jeff Howe, did a story about this, and then Simmons stepped in and he laid out some different reasons why he thinks this is a thing. And he most notably ties Tom Brady's relationship that he has to Robert Kraft and how close he is with the owner. And the fact that Brady would just say, you know what, Fox Sports, we're going to wait. I'm not coming back yet. And I'm going back to finish my career where it started with the Patriots. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, one of the things it's the same thing I've got with Mac Jones right now. That Patriots offensive situation is a nightmare. And by situation, I mean the lack of offensive coordinator. You know, they're using Joe Judge. They're using Matt Patricia as their whatever they're calling it. I don't even think they're calling it offensive coordinator or co-offensive coaches or whatever it is, and it's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare for Mac Jones. And they didn't hire an offensive coordinator. I don't know if they would if Brady was coming back. I assume he would want one. Where would that come from? We don't know. Josh McDaniels is gone. So let's get to this. The 45-year-old previously predicted he would play past the age of 46 using longevity of a baseball pitcher's career to predict his proficiency going forward. And having spent 20 years in New England, the emotional pull will be there if he was offered the chance to return. During his time in Foxborough, Brady had an incredibly close relationship with Bob Kraft, which stemmed from a conversation that they had after he was drafted. The pair's closeness continued beyond Brady leaving the team for the Buccaneers in 2020, with Kraft reportedly texting Brady at the time saying, "I love you more than you know for being so classy in everything you do." And Brady prepares to potentially become a free agent for only the second time in his career. Whispers have started suggesting a return to the Patriots could be on the cards, something NFL expert Bill Simmons believes could happen because of Kraft. Speaking on his podcast, Simmons referenced Brady showing up at Kraft's wedding in New York on Friday night before a game on Sunday as evidence of their bond is as tight as ever. He's absolutely extremely tight with Bob Kraft. He said, quote, "What happened 4 or 5 weeks ago? Who showed up at Bob Kraft's birthday party? It was a wedding. A Friday night before a Tampa Bay Bucks game. Why would someone do that?" Now you start thinking, where was I happy? Where do I belong? Who are my people? It's the Patriot fans. What's the best thing for my legacy? Oh, I can just peter out on this 7-10, 8-9 Bucks team. I lose in round 1 and then I go to Fox. I don't think he wants to go to Fox. I just think he's on the wrong team. This is all quotes. He needs an offensive line. The Pats have an offensive line. Look, Bill Simmons, that's a little bit arguable. That offensive line is not great in New England. I can tell you right now. It's not great. He needs a tight end. The Pats have a tight end, true. He needs a running back who can catch the ball out of the backfield. How about Ramondre Stevenson? That's true. How about a bunch of receivers that can do stuff? They got Devontae Parker. They got Nelson Aguilar. They got Kendrick Bourne. And that's 3 I can think of right off the top. And that little Jones kid we saw the other night. How about a young team that's probably a year away from being decent? He comes back home. He puts a bow on it. He's a Patriot for life. This is where I want to be. Bob Kraft is the most meaningful relationship I've had as an adult. He's like he's a second father to me. Brady and head coach Belichick's relationship is believed to have deteriorated over the year, culminating in his departure from the team. However, Brady's first return to Gillette Stadium with the Bucks, the pair apparently set up a private meeting in and away from the locker room where they spoke for over 20 minutes, and Simmons exclaimed he can't rule out Brady's return for that reason as well. Belichick and Brady together. This is how it has to end. This is the Shawshank reunion. This is Dirk Diggler coming back to Jack Horner's office at the end of Boogie Nights. They always come back. I'm just saying don't rule it out. It's starting to get some steam out there, which seems crazy, but I'll tell you this. Before he announced he was retiring last year, it had crossed my mind that, would or could Brady actually flip around and go back to the Patriots for like a year or two just to end this thing, right? Just to say, look, let's go ahead and let's be real. It would be one of the greatest stories in sports all time is if Brady would come back around and go back to the Patriots to finish his career off. Now, would Belichick do it? I don't know. Is that team good enough for Brady? I don't know. Again, the offensive coordinator position, it's a cluster F. And we're pretty sure now Josh McDaniels is not getting fired because the Raiders are actually showing signs of life and they're 5-7 now. So unless Brady could maybe bring in somebody that has New England ties to be the offensive coordinator that he could work with, yeah, there's some weapons on that team. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, a couple of running backs. It's good defense, by the way. I don't think it's super far-fetched. I don't. But it has to do with, maybe it has to do with his relationship with Belichick. The theory out there, and even he kind of said it, he wanted to get away from that militaristic style of New England. But I think as this year's progressed with Tampa Bay, I think he started to realize he misses some of that. Okay? Because, you got Bruce Arians, you got Todd Bowles, that team, not as disciplined, not as the ship's not run as tight as New England is. And I think he's starting to miss that. And I think he's realizing he had a little bit of an appreciation for it because it helped him win games. And plus, this season hasn't gone like he thought. And, there's also a feeling he partially left New England because of Giselle and everything going on there, and maybe wanting to live in Florida or whatever. And, well, he doesn't have to really be concerned about Giselle now, does he? I don't know. I saw this. I was like, I meant to talk about it yesterday or the day before yesterday, and then Bill Simmons talked about it. And this article came out where it reflected what I heard on Bill Simmons' show. And I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Brady going back. I don't know. Scale 1 to 10, it's a 5. I give it a 50-50 shot, frankly. I don't know why anybody would think this is just really far-fetched. Go back to New England, play a year or two, and put a bow on it. It does make some sense, and it would be one of the best stories in the history of sports. Can you imagine? I mean, primetime games, Brady and Belichick back together, the Patriots, I'm coming home plays every 27 seconds on a TV promo for Sunday Night Football. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.